heard some good things about you, man. I also heard that you really needed money.
Fortunately, I do.
Well, I'm happy to bring you in. I just want to let you know that you get paid and I get paid.
You already briefed me. I got the explanation.
Good. As long as it's clear. When they're good stories. So many times I get caught up into taking a role in a small movie and you know, the movie will go nowhere and you fall in love with the role, but you know the picture is not written well enough. This was different. This just, you know, hit home and, you know, my friend Vinny is in the movie and, you know, he's got such a great background from television. And I knew I was working with good actors and Emilio, the director, was just very persuasive on the phone and I felt very comfortable with him. And it was easy to do. Only God knows I'd be working this fast. Well, the character, you know, he's a Texan, and you know, and I love Texas. And I was born on the day the Alamo fell, so you know, March 6th is my birthday. Anytime I can play a Texan, I'd love to, especially a guy that's in all his Western regalia, and he's not real serious about being. He's serious about being a criminal, but what's interesting is how he plays with everybody, and he toys with everybody, and no one is really a threat to him, which is always fun to play because you can run the gamut of, and John Kreese in Karate Kid was not like that. John was one-dimensional, dark and evil. And characters like this are often so much fun to play because you can go all over the place with them, but you are basically the heavy, but the thinking heavy.
What is it like with the director when he gave you direction, and how did you feel comfortable with working with the director and the way he took you to the scene?
Well, Emilio is very charismatic. I mean, really charismatic director. And I think that, you know, even if you don't agree, he somehow opens up the forum enough so that your contribution is worthy and used, but he'll win in the ultimate decision because of how he presents it to you and the logic he gives you as an actor. And him being an actor, I remember on Cagney and Lacey, the actors, I personally thought that the actors always made the best directors. And because they really understand exactly what we go through if we're not directed. So actors really can feel for their fellow actor, and they direct him better. That's just how I feel. Al Waxman was a great director, Jim Frawley, you know, just a slew of people that were actors first.
Two more questions. How did you feel about the freedom of the independent world, different than the bigger movies that you work on?
Well, the bigger movies, and you do Wyatt Earp, you get lobster and shrimp on the desert, you know. You would do a small movie, you get prison food. The bottom line is that it's the material, and it's how much fun you have with the role, how much fun you're allowed to have with the part. You know, it's the only crisis is that when a small movie, you don't get a lot of time with the dialogue, and they're often on such a rigid schedule. But as long as the material is terrific and you get great direction and you're working with talent, it doesn't even matter. My first scene was very long, and I was reasonably insecure about it because I didn't have a lot of time on directing the play, and we were hoping to shoot this in a couple of days. Instead, we did a lot of stuff in one day, and it worked out. But I'm real hard on myself, so I'm a terrible judge of any of that. But the miracle of cinema always saves me. Well, of course. I mean, we've seen the character of Bush in a multitude of movies, and it's taken, whether it was The Getaway, where I think Ben Johnson played this character. There's always, at times, a Texan behind the mob, and in the southern states, that's what goes on. So it's realistic. You know, I've met characters like the one I played, but the bottom line is it's always fun to play him because anything goes when you're a Texan. I mean, anything goes because it's such a level of independence. Living in the state, it's like a country of its own. So the people are very, very much like that. It's not a stereotype in there. It's wide open to play as an actor. Hi, I'm Marty Cove, and I played Bush.